Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with ExcelR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if ExcelR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with ExcelR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank ExcelR for being a part of it.
was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about ExcelR and I enrolled in ExcelR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exams to test our knowledge. And as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, ExcelR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across ExcelR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these.
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope you all doing well. Shashank sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
You can take over the class.
Shall we start now?
Yeah, yes, sir. You can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of our FDP. So let us continue from what we are actually discussing yesterday. And a few questions I have got yesterday where I wanted to answer in today's session, starting with a couple of concepts. So first we'll go with that concepts which are extremely important actually. So that is why I was also telling that tomorrow I'll tell you with a detailed explanation as well, because they are very important concepts. So it is very a good moment also for me to understand that people are understanding and they're trying to learn more also. So it was good. And let me share my screen. Let us start with today's session. So let me share. Yeah. I hope you can see my screen. I think it's good. Yeah. Okay. So we are in day 2, and let us try and understand some of the things. So now going into particularly, yesterday I got a couple of questions, particularly on BERT. Okay, so I didn't want to just answer in a very small way because BERT is actually a very huge concept. So I just wanted to explain in more detail as well, right? What exactly is BERT, and what is this BERT doing? Actually, without knowing, we are using BERT in everyday life. Okay, so classical example is your Google search. Okay, so that is why I just wanted to explain in detail as well. So let me go to a very important concept first to understand that what is a language representation model. Okay, so let's keep it very simple to understand what is this before understanding of BERT. And then we'll try to understand that what exactly is BERT. Now, when we talk about language representation model, okay, so what is exactly a language representation? That means yesterday we have actually discussed about one of the important things that is the natural language. So, or natural language processing. So, natural language when it comes to text data, right? NLP plays a very important role. For example, when we talk about speech to text conversion, right? Text to speech conversion. For example, if you take a simple Google search, right? So when you search for a particular thing, right? a particular concept. Nowadays, you can see it's not just displaying the websites, it is displaying a AI summary. Okay, so many of you would have identified that AI generated summary. Okay, so in that summary, you have an option to read it, right? So there, what is happening is it is converting the text into speech. Or for example, yesterday I've given you an example of AI technology, particularly when it comes to Pixel phones like Google Pixel. So you have an option called speech to text. For example, you can record the video and convert it into speech. Okay, so directly that happens on spot as well. So this all technology is actually Google plays a very important role in developing AI technology, right? So we talk about Microsoft, we talk about OpenAI, right? We talk about because OpenAI we are very much used to using ChatGPT, but in reality if you see Google is actually playing a really vital role. So even yesterday I was researching a lot about what Google has contributed to artificial intelligence. And I know it has done few things here and there, TensorFlow, they are fine, Google search, but I was amazed at how much of development, or how much of contribution is a correct word actually, very very key word, right? So it has contributed a lot to the AI industry. So to explain that and to make you to understand what is this BERT model, so I had to take some of the examples and make you to understand. So when it comes to natural language processing, is basically about training the machine, right? About the natural language, for example, like the grammar, the way we talk, everything, right? So now this language representation model is a process of that. That means the machine understands, processes, and generates. So this process is basically called as a language representation model. So it's a kind of model which is, you can say it's a machine learning model, or you can say it's a deep learning model. Okay, so because deep learning is a part of machine learning, right? So when you say it's a machine learning model, it's not a mistake, right? If you say it's a deep learning model also, it's not a mistake, right? It's correct. So it's actually a model which is built to understand, process, and generate. So there are a lot of language representation models which are out there. BERT is not the only model. Okay, so that we'll try to understand. Now, before going deep into what is BERT, so what does this language representation does, right? So I was just telling you a few examples on that as well. So it tries to understand the meaning, structure, right, and perform the classification. The most important thing is the context. This this way, right, or this kind of context implementation into the natural language and the LLM models has changed, it has created a completely different era of generative AI. So now when you see the three important things, that is embedding, contextual understanding, and the transfer learning. So the first thing comes to mind is the transformations, right, into vectors, and then converting into the context, right? So the initial stage also had the context understanding, but there was a problem in a few cases. To overcome this problem, Google has gone one step advanced. So that is what we are trying to understand. So now transfer learning is nothing but converting the trained models into the specific NLP tasks. Now, let us see that what are the language models which are available. Now, if you see on the screen, you can see a few language models, right? So in that, you can see in the first place, you have BERT, right? It is from Google. Now, if you see in the who is the developer, you have one more person called Google at the place word to vector. Word to vector model was there from a few years, like let us say some 10 to 15 years. But the problem with this word to vector is problem of context. It is a static method. It's not a it's not a very good contextual explanation part. Now I'll get to that. Now and then you can see something called as Facebook. It has a model which is called as a Robota. Okay, so Robota also uses this BERT technology. Now coming to the GPT part, so GPT is basically the versions 1, 2, 3, 4. These are basically being developed by the OpenAI. These are very strong, particularly for text generation, right? When it comes to BERT, right? BERT is not a it's not a GPT model. It's not a text generation tool. It's not that, right? So it is basically developed for a classification. So when it comes to to understand this whole context, when we talk about machine learning, right? So machine learning, in that we have different kinds of learnings, unsupervised, supervised, and reinforcement learning. So in supervised learning, we have two kinds of types again. So one is the classification, one is the regression, right? So whatever is categorical comes under classification. For example, like a yes or no scenario, right? So the person is having a heart attack, yes or a no, right? So the person can read or read and write. So you can say something which is true or false, or a yes or a no, right? Something which is a classifier, or you can say a categorical variable. So whatever comes under categorical variable, it becomes a classification problem. Based on the credit history, the person will be given a loan or a not. Okay, yeah, you can just put your comment on the a chat. I'll just answer that. Okay, yeah. So whether the person can be given loan or not, it's a yes or no scenario. Yes or no scenario. So these kinds of problems are basically called as classifications. And the next one is the regression part. So regression part is nothing but predicting a variable. Okay, so now here when we talk in our context, we are not generating any variables, or we are not predicting any values. So it's not under regression part. And here we are actually generating the text models. Okay, so we are using machine learning models, advanced models like the SVM and all. Let us not go to that part. Okay, and the model which Google has built, it is purely for classification. So that is why when I talk about the language models, it is very important that we understand that seeing BERT in this category, it may actually confuse us, thinking that BERT also can generate text. No, BERT is not there to generate text. It is there for a proper classification. Okay, and it is there to answer the questions. Okay, it is basically a classifier. Now let us go to the why these are extremely important. So there are you can say now in the current technology or in the current world, because BERT is basically introduced in 2018. So that has changed the picture of entire Google search, or wherever Google has actually is being used. So now when it comes to the GPT, is what a text generation like ChatGPT or some other GPT. For example, Copilot, even Copilot is a GPT only. Correct? No. So now these I think you have understood why we are basically using them. And some of the examples, you can see it on the screen, that for chatbots, translators, summarizing the text, search engines. These are some of the classical examples. So now coming to, I was actually trying to tell you that, we have two types. One is the static and one is the contextual. So contextual, we are trying to understand, right? No, we are in the generation of the contextual, particularly in the context oriented. That is in where your GPT, that is why yesterday even I was talking about, when we try to use the GPT, it is very much important that the prompt should be very context oriented. I was using that word of context oriented because the models such as BERT, GPT, Elmo, let us not touch now. So BERT and GPT particularly are based upon context oriented. This glove and word to vector are of static ones. right? So it is based upon single vectors regardless of the context. But the context-oriented ones are not like that. So a small example to make you to understand. So he sat by the bank to watch the boats. Now, if we are running this sentence, right, in a BERT model, it will understand that bank belongs to a river bank, but not a commercial bank. Okay. So it refers to a river bank or a river. Okay. Why? Because you have given the word boat, right? So this bank word will be dependent upon the word boat. So it will understand that, right? So how, okay, which bank it is exactly. Okay, so which bank it is, whether it is bank where we store the money or put our valuable things, or it is a river bank, because even river bank is called as a bank only, right? So our example, if it is already given, he sat by the river bank to watch the boats, fine. But we don't think that much, right? So we expect the Google to be more intelligent. Am I correct? Right? When we search something, it tries to fill the sentence. Are you searching for this? It will give, right? You remember now? Yes, that is exactly BERT. That is what I told you, that we are using BERT in our real life every day, but we don't know that we are using BERT. Okay, so this BERT is basically a conceptual model. Now, when we go to the BERT, yesterday we have discussed about the transformers. So transformers, this BERT technology is a part of a transformer. Okay, so now you would have understood what is a language representation model, right? And now when I say that you already know what is a language representation model, then you'll be able to figure it out what is BERT. That is the reason I had to take up the important part as well. So now this is basically maybe not even it's maybe some 6.5 years old technology what Google has actually built. So BERT is being founded in October 2018. So this is a very important concept in NLP, right? And if you see the full form of BERT, so it is basically bidirectional encoder representations. Okay, so why they have put bidirectional is it reads the context from both the ends. Okay, so it is from the left hand side, it is from the right hand side as well. Okay, so GPT is basically a context oriented from only one direction. Okay, but BERT is not like that. BERT reads the context from both the directions. That is why they have named it as bidirectional. Okay, so yeah, so going forward, so now when we say what exactly, I think by this time you would have understood that. Okay, so how things are actually working in artificial intelligence. So now bidirectional, when you say, as I told you, from left to right and right to left. So in this way, what happens is it actually captures things more effectively. And transformer we are already have used, right, or we have already understood. So 2017 is what the transformer technology architecture has been built. So less than a year or maybe a year around, BERT technology has actually has come up. So that means Google was looking for that technology where he can build upon. Okay, so he has used the transformer technology to build that BERT technology, which is bidirectional one, which he is actually currently has implemented in the real life. Okay, so what we are using in the current day. So okay, so this is small example I've given you to make you to understand that how this BERT actually is working. Okay, so let us keep it very simple to understand that. So basically, I told it doesn't generate sentences. So it basically actually what it does is it generates, but usually it is used for classification, or you can say separating of sentences. Okay, so there are two kinds of models which are done in retraining. One is masked language modeling and next sentence prediction. These are the two kind of things which are actually happening. Okay, so if you are a bit of aware of NLP, the understanding will be a bit easy, but it's okay. You can just maybe try to upgrade or try to skill up yourself bit on NLP maybe later. Okay, so that you can understand a few things, because these are all language models. So language models are completely dependent upon the NLP models, natural language processing models. So going to the example usage, one more example: the bank will not approve your loan, right? So here again, there's a confusion that, right, the bank is river bank or a financial institution, right? So this is in where BERT will go from the front as well as the back, so bi-directional. So when you're saying loan is not related to that of the, right, river bank or river, right? So that context, your BERT model can understand. That is why we are calling it as artificial intelligence. It has that intelligence to understand that the bank here is the financial institution, but not a river bank. Okay, so yeah, that's what I've just mentioned as well. So it understands the context that it is your loan is a financial institution. Okay, so it is basically a state-of-art benchmark in the current industry. Okay, let us as of now we don't know how many what Google will come up, but currently his modifications or his implementation of these language models are entirely dependent upon this BERT technology, which is there in the current industry for Google. So I'm just speaking about this mask language modeling, and next sentence prediction now. About that, I have just mentioned a small thing. So I think one person was asking a doubt. If you have any doubt, you can put it in the chat. I'll answer them. Okay, because I'll be teaching in middle. I cannot stop, so I'll just in the middle I'll check. Please, if you have anything, you can just please ping it in the chat. Okay, I'll answer all of your questions. Okay. So if you're not texting, I hope you don't have anything. Please guys, if you have anything, you can just ping me. I think you don't have anything. I'll continue. Okay, great. So yeah, I think all is going well kind of right now. Okay, so this is what about the both pre-trained models. Now let us see some of the use cases. So one is the sentiment analysis, which we were talking about. Then we have the question answering. Then we have name entity recognition, text classification, search ranking used by Google search. So, so as already we have discussed that this is basically the state of art. It has a very good fine-tuned pre-trained technology and open source and widely adopted. So this is basically expensive to compute. So obviously this is a a relatively new technology, and it costs several millions and billions of rupees or crores of rupees to manage and maintain. Okay, so now let us go into the very important part, which is the AI agents. Now let us try and understand that what is an AI agent, okay, and why these AI agents are very important, and what happens by using these AI agents. So this is agent. What is agent first of all, right? So not that agent, dictionary definition of agent, but this is an AI agent. So in a very simple terms, to understand to understand in a very simple term, agent is an AI tool, or agent is a person, you can think like that, okay, which has the capability to understand things, right? Yeah, which has the capability to understand the things, process them, and take necessary actions. So necessary actions indicate that it has that capability to take that decision making, right? So if we can think that gathering the information or understanding the environment, right? We say as perceiving or perceives. Okay, so that is what basically the AI agent is about. Now let us see that what are the different structures or what happens in an AI agent. So one by one we'll try to understand. So there are different types of agents. We'll try to understand those. Utility-based, simple reflex agents, model-based, goal-based. So we'll try to understand these different kinds of agents which are there in the AI development. Then we have the agent system, which is single agent, multi-agent, and human machine. Then we have the how does it basically work, right? So human control, autonomous, memory, reactivity, environment, and what are the tools? Okay. So this is what the entire structure when we talk about an AI agent. Now let us go to the core components. Okay. So which are already here. Okay. Okay. So the core components are basically the perception, processing, action, and the feedback loop. So a very important thing is how this actually processes. Okay, so perception is nothing but getting the information or getting the data. Simple way to understand. So gathering the information or gathering the data or getting the data. That's it. Simple way to understand. Then processing is once the data is there, interpreting it, understanding it, finding the reasoning from it, learning from it, like building a model or patterns in the data, understanding the structure of the data. All these things come under the processing part. Then action. So what action has to be taken, right? Based on certain things what we have actually given. Then the feedback. So whether it is able to process correctly or it is correct or not, that is based upon what feedbacks it is going to get. So a very small example I felt, because we are actually a few of us maybe at least are using maybe AI vacuum cleaners, right? Or you might be using AI mops, right? So in India, not many options. I was actually checking some few things. We don't have much options here. Xiaomi, robotic vacuum cleaner, or Xiaomi clean. We have a few things actually. Only a few things in India as of now. Not much of AI tools, for example, like a vacuum cleaner is available in India. So when we say Roomba, right? It's a technology which is actually used for robot vacuum cleaner, right? So actually, it has a technology when you start input that you have to do this and all, you'll feed the instructions. So I know from even I have not used actually, to be fair, but I've seen how it actually, I've seen a few videos that how it actually performs. So I've seen that the type of cleaning what we have to do, we have to import insert in it, and then when it senses any obstacles, for example, you keep something, right? So that is why when you use a robotic cleaner, the risk is you have to clear ground, whatever is there you have to clear. So if it hits something, it will stop. So a few vacuum cleaners have the technology to move sense, few will stop, so you have to change the path. So like that. So I feel robotic vacuum cleaners are coming up. It's a new age technology. So I cannot comment on it stating that it has to be improved more. We have come a long way. Uh, you know, and based on the flow type, how it's wet or it is dry or dust is more, it tries to identify and it tries to clean it up. So maybe if you would have used it, you will have better understanding than what I'm giving you. Those who have not used, at least you can try to see some videos in YouTube or something like that, you can understand that how a robot vacuum cleaner actually works. So now going to the history of what the AI agents. So we already yesterday we have seen a lot of history, understanding from where these AI actually started. So it goes back, several years ago, right? Except from the period of AI winter, a lot of advancements has happened. So I'm not going again, into the history and evolution, but the early AI is just based on rule based, right? It is more focused on logic based and logical reasoning and rule based. After that, the knowledge based, building a model, probabilistic reason, I can say more problem solving, adaptive techniques. So a few things have actually come up when it came, or when it has come to the knowledge based systems. And then from there we have advanced AI, where the deep learning, reinforcement learning came into the existence. And now we are also seeing the robotics in action, natural language processing, and the real time decision making. So now let us see the types of AI agents. So there are four important, AI agents. One is the reactive agents. Reactive is just the basic AI agent. What it reacts like a simple chatbot, right? So it is, it doesn't think of any past. It doesn't rely, or it is not dependent upon the past. It is just the present or the current stimuli or the current situations. It's a simple AI agent which you can think of. So next is the proactive agent. Proactive agent is, it reacts. The name itself suggests you it reacts based upon certain scenarios. Okay, so for example, like AI meeting what you schedule. For example, best thing you can think of is the AI. You can think of putting. For example, if you have a meeting in Gmail, if you respond to the calendar of yes, so it will store in the memory of Google Calendar that you have a meeting at 4 o'clock, or you have a meeting at, or you have a training session at 3 o'clock, or you have an FDP at 3 o'clock. So 10 minutes prior, it will remember you. Many of you would have already been using it. So it's not a, so it's a very simple example of a proactive agent. So next thing is the goal-based agents. So goal-based agents are basically depend upon a certain goal. So for example, if you are playing a chess, or if you are doing something else, so we have set a goal, and on that particular goal, these agents actually work. So for that, it will gather the necessary data. For that, it will build a model. It will try to predict the solution for it. It will try to optimize. Yeah, optimize is also one of the features. So all these things happen when it comes to a goal-based agents. So next is the utility-based. So utility-based is basically more, I can say, more tended, or more which tend to more optimizing the functions, or you can say by giving the best possible outcomes, right? So to identify the best possible outcome, or you can say optimum solution. A single word is you can think of like the optimum solution. So that is what this utility-based agents are basically about. So now this is what we have actually seen. So simple reflex, model reflex, goal-based, utility, and the learning. So these are the kinds of agents what we have in the current day environment. So this is an AI agent, a very small example, how an agent actually works. So it is not just, if you say it is not just that the agent, simply functions. So user gives a prompt. From there, the agent tries to, first understand the prompt, right? And it tries to generate a solution, right? Based on that. So for that, it might need any document from the database, right? It might need some code, or it might need an LLM model, right? It might need any machine learning model. So it is based on the prompt what we have given. It is based upon a certain scenarios. So after using all these required things, what the AI agent does is executes, right, and then gives you the output. So to give this, or to give to this conclusion, or to generate this, it uses so many aspects where it can sorry, where it can generate the output. So let us see in bit detail that what is a reactive agent. So we have seen now. Let us see what is a reactive agent. So reactive, as I told you, it is basically a simple agent which doesn't plan or which doesn't have any future plans, or which doesn't store any data, right? It just instantly works or reacts on a certain scenarios. Okay, it's like a condition. If you like an if statement, right? So if statement, so it checks the condition, it gives you the output. It's just like a condition based outcome. Okay, based on that it takes the decision. So best example is the spam filters, self-driving cars, thermostats, and chess AI. So these are some of the examples which you can relate with the reactive agents. So next is the advantages and limitations of the reactive agents. So here you can actually analyze the historical data, right, and instantly react. Okay, so they also function well with the structured and rule-based systems, right? The most problem is they don't have the dynamic. It's a static one because it doesn't have that things in the memory. It just reacts to a certain scenario. So there is no long-term strategy. So according to our requirement, whatever we need at that particular time, that kind of AI agent we are going to actually use. So next let us go to the proactive agent. So, but before that, if you have any questions for me, you can just I hope you have understood that reactive agent and what are agents, what are AI agents, what do these actually do? Yeah. Okay, fine. I think nobody's having anything. Okay, so let me continue. Maybe in the break, probably if you have any questions, you can just ping me. After the break, maybe I can take it up. That should be a good option as well. Okay. Fine. So let us try and understand that what is a proactive agent. So proactive agent are basically an agents which are more than the simple agents, or you can say more than the reactive agents, not just like how a reactive agent performs. So it is bit more than that. So now let us understand what this agents actually do. So this proactive agents and react. They not like the reactive agents to just react. So what this proactive agents actually do is they try to assess the environment, they try to understand the situations, right? They try to analyze, they try to gather the data, they try to adapt what is happening, try to understand. So all these things will come into the picture when it comes to the proactive agent. So there are a lot of things when it comes to proactive agents. So proactive agents are not just agents which react without any proper proof, or whether proof is nothing in my opinion, analysis. So not without any proof, or not without any proper analysis, this cannot react, or these agents will not react simply just like a reactive agents. So a very important example is the smart assistants. For example, like the chatbots or the virtual assistants. So for example, if you are scheduling a appointment, so it will check, right? It will check with the appointment hub, and then it will take a call based on that. It doesn't directly simply just books your appointment with the for example, maybe a doctor or a dentist or anybody, right? So or if you want to go anywhere, you want to book some appointment. So it is basically trying to understand. So now, this cybersecurity AI is one of the things. So this is basically again trying to detect the unusual activity and potential blocks. So before blocking something, it will try to, or it will make sure that it is a potential threat. Okay. Same with energy management system. It tries to detect whether you can optimize something, and then it will try to suggest you. For example, like given your mobile phones, right? So your AI-based processors will suggest you that if you do like this, your battery will be saved, or maybe display is too bright, or display is something like this. So it will give you suggestions. Maybe you would have observed or not observed. You get these suggestions from it. These are basically AI agents working inside your AI systems, because now these smartphones what we are using, most of them are powered by AI. So they have from small to high level artificial intelligence. It is based upon the kind of thing what we are trying to use. So next is predictive maintenance in manufacturing. So something happens, breakdown or something like that. How it will be able to cope up, or uh, equipped with that is what predictive maintenance is. So again, everything comes with own advantages and limitations. So advantages of this basically this the second type is what the proactive agents is. Basically it uh, you know uh, it doesn't, it protects us from inefficiencies, or you can say in a simple word is improved decision making, or logical decision making. Correct? No. So next is enhancing a certain thing, saving time. Yeah, this and all are part of AI anyway. So next is the disadvantages. Definitely it requires data. So it relies on data. That might be sometimes difficult, sometimes it might be easy. So it is based upon scenarios. It is based upon certain situations. So next is potential overreach. If properly designed, these agents could if poorly designed, sorry, if they are poorly designed, then it is difficult for analyzing them. So yeah, so somebody raised hand, probably you can just put in the chat. If you have any question, you can just put in the chat. So next is the goal-based AI system. So goal-based AI systems are basically designed to possibly achieve or to reach a certain goal. So based upon a certain goal, these AI systems will actually try to function. So this actually simulates a particular plan of action, right? Because we are saying that we are going by a certain goal, right? So that goal has to be reached. So now these agents actually assess different paths by choosing the goals, like best example like these search algorithms or optimization techniques, right? All these actually come under artificial intelligence. For example, the search engines, or search engine optimizations and all those things actually work on goal-based systems. So for goal-based examples, if you take, you can talk about the chess. Okay, so you can talk about the chess, right? So it actually tries to strategize the moves and try to win the game. So autonomous robots are basically they plan to execute or designated the decisions. So next is navigation systems. So navigation you are very familiar with, because nowadays, particularly in big cities, we need the navigation. So navigation systems actually always try to predict the best route possible. Correct? So it always try to predict the shortest distance with the best route possible. So next is the medical diagnosis system. So it analyzes symptoms and medical data to recommend the most effective treatment. So the advantages and disadvantages are, it is very good for strategic decision making. That is true. And it works well with the dynamic environments, not just the static ones. Next thing is, yeah, the algorithmic process or the processing is very much there. It is very high actually, and it is very important that you have to give the user preferences and all. So there are some, that's what. So everything has its advantages and the disadvantages. So now let us go to the utility based. So utility based AI systems are basically used for maximizing or optimizing a certain action, or we can say optimization. What is optimization? Optimization is nothing but reaching to a best optimum solution or the best possible solution. Let us not use the word optimal or optimized. So let us say it is the best possible solution which is possible for that particular problem, is what basically an optimization is basically is. Whether it might be a minimization problem or whether it might be a maximization problem. So it may be any kind of issue, or it might be any kind of problem which is thrown at an AI agent. So it should make sure that it gives the best possible solution. So how does this utility based works? So this basically works on certain scenarios, as I was telling you about the best possible solution. So it is might the best possible optimized value. So next is stock trading. So always when you use stock trading, so trading we try to use we try to get the maximum profits. Then ride hailing, so it is optimally allocating the driver based upon the pricing of demand and traffic conditions. So next is AI in healthcare. So assessing treatments options and suggesting the best approach. So autonomous vehicles evaluating the multiple driving solutions, and yeah, based upon even you can see now, you can see the air conditioners also have the AI based, which tries to recently even LG has launched a certain kind of air conditioner where it tries to reduce the electricity. So if you keep, if you try to give a particular amount of consumption for it, based on that, it will change its temperature. And so it's a kind of AI-based tool. So you can say that is a utility-based agent, because it is basically working on the optimization for giving you the best possible result. So the advantages and limitations are optimizing the decision making, and that is always there. That is why we are using these AI agents first of all. So they are highly adaptive. That is always there. And yeah, obviously these larger data sets, computation is it is always there, because we have to use the machine learning and deep learning algorithms, which are a bit mathematical and highly advanced sometimes. So it is a it is like a it is like a tricky situation, because AI, artificial intelligence, just doesn't work simply like that. It needs higher computations. That is why we are using high supercomputers when it comes to maintenance. Even in our day-to-day activities also, many of us use high configuration laptops. So more power, more RAM is required. At least now in laptops we need at least 16 GB of RAM. So at least an i5 processor or Ryzen 5 processor. So we need that computational power to do some AI tasks in our even in our laptops or computers for a day-to-day basis as well. So things have changed when it comes to processing and a lot of computational load, and the processors are also capable of doing that. So things have changed kind of right now. So let us go to the next part is the core components of AI agents. So this is one of the important concepts. So here we have to understand three things, which is perception, reasoning, and the action. So let us just try to take questions if somebody has. Yeah. So actually, a few people have raised their hand, but nobody has put a question actually. If you have any, please just make a. because we have covered so many topics actually. So if you have anything, you can just come up with. Yesterday I had a lot of questions, tons and tons of questions were actually pouring in yesterday, but today people were very silent. Come on, faculty. Okay, a detailed explanation. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to make it more detail as much as possible to make you to understand. Because for a few people it might be very new. Because when people just talk about AI, artificial intelligence and all, but there is a lot to the to the table. It has a lot of aspects. Right, it might be NLP, computer vision, it might be Gen AI. It's everything is kind of included, or you can say everything is kind of connected to each other. So it's a theory part. Yeah, it's trying to understand. Yes. So we have a bit of practical also in our FDP, but there are a few concepts which need to be taught as well. So I'm just doing that. So anything else? Yes. Thank you so much. Good. Okay. You're able to follow. Okay. Yeah, sure. You have to do that because if you're aware of a few concepts, it will be fine. But if you're completely new to artificial intelligence, particularly, just fascinated by the term AI, which is actually, being spoken. So it is a lot. Now we'll be also trying to understand that what is AI reasoning. So you'll be, getting to know, because everything is basically reasoning in artificial intelligence. I'll get to that. So it just doesn't simply happen. It has some protocols what a machine will follow. So it will check the rule based. So yeah, there are a lot of aspects connected to it. It will use the entire structure to make sure or to deliver something, to you, what you are actually trying to, obtain. How can I implement this to my Zoom? Okay. So I would actually suggest you maybe, in your perspective. Okay. Okay. Suggest some basic knowledge and topics which are to be. Okay, now questions are pouring in. Okay. Okay, so suggest basic mathematics and analysis topics that are to be included in the degree curriculum to make students ready to follow AI basic concepts. Yes. So to actually suggest that, it's actually a really good question, but there's a problem to answering this question. Okay, so the problem in answering this question is, the main problem is, there's no such topic in statistics which is not used in artificial intelligence. So this sentence might be superficial when you hear from me, but I've never come across a concept in statistics which is not used in artificial intelligence. Like literally 100%, 100%. So you can just verify any concept which is there in statistics which is not used in AI. You can come up with, sir, you are wrong. This concept is not used. If you show that concept, I'll tell you where it is used. Okay, so maybe I may not be knowing exactly where it might be used. Maybe I will just research and tell you also, because I have seen literally everything. Okay, literally everything, particularly statistics. Okay, everything which is used in data science, data analytics, and artificial intelligence. Because when I say AI, data science and data analytics also comes into artificial intelligence. AI is not just a complete separate. There are a few things extra in artificial intelligence which are not there in data science and data analytics. So it is extremely everything is bit of used. So coming to mathematics, mathematics is also linked to statistics. So you cannot again segregate. Right, let it be from algebra or linear algebra or real analysis. Everything is used actually. When you go to deep learning, when you start preparing deep learning, or when you try to start learning deep learning, you will understand how much of mathematics is inside deep learning. It is like it is like you will see complete mathematics only in deep learning. It's completely that. So, right, it may be from derivatives, or it might be from implementing the concepts of real analysis, everything, derivatives, everything, right. It might be from anything, any concepts. So right from the set theory, everything is actually included inside machine learning and deep learning. So I cannot tell that which concept, because there are hundreds and thousands of concepts which are used. Which are used in the day-to-day life. So I would recommend a few things, but right from the basics if you start, because see, everybody cannot learn everything. So that is not even possible. So maybe you can start with the basics, so you can build upon right from the basics. You can start upon and build and slowly take upon the interest as well, because analytics, data science, and AI is not for everyone. Actually, let me get that. So it is not for everyone. Okay, so it is very hard to understand for a few people which do not, which if they don't have that logical thinking ability, which actually your mathematics gives you. That is why in your school they used to say you need to learn mathematics in order to develop that logical thinking ability. So yeah, that is the reason for that actually, because AI is completely based upon logic and reasoning, only. That's it. It's a if you ask me what is AI, it is based upon logic and reasoning. That's it, because it tries to mimic a human behavior. For example, I am answering this question because you have asked the question. It is a I have a reason for that why I'm answering, because you have asked. That's it. That is AI. So what a human being is actually doing, the same thing the AI machines are trying to mimic. Okay, so to I was giving we have discussed an example of robotic vacuum cleaner, right? So you can actually clean your house manually as well. So but why we are using robotic vacuum cleaner? Because it tries to clean, it will try to optimize. Because AI, if you say the word artificial intelligence, the synonym is optimization. So you want to optimize. What you want to optimize in that particular case is, you don't want any dust in your house. You want to clean your house, in a very clean manner, right? You don't want anything in your house, in the form of dust. So the cleaning should be spick and span. So in that case, that is why you're using an AI system. That means you're using an optimization engine, right? In this case, your optimization is cleaning the house. So that is how things actually link with what we are trying to do in the current day, AI industry. So right, it might be Google search, it might be a GPT technology, BERT technology, like what Google has implemented. Okay, so let me get one more question. Good evening, sir. Okay, discuss the architecture and decision-making process of a utility-based agent. Okay, so I've just covered the utility-based agent as well. So utility-based agent is basically, in a simple terms, basically utility agent is for optimizing. That's what just mentioning as well about a robotic vacuum cleaner. So it is trying to primarily maximize the engine, and trying to give you the best possible result which you are trying to look for it. So something which you're trying to look, which you want to be, getting an optimized or a best possible solution. For that, you can use the utility-based AI agent. So anything else? Yeah. So yeah, this question I have actually unanswered in this zoology class. Yeah. So for this actually, ma'am, yes. Okay. Ma'am or sir, I'm not sure, but okay, fine. What exactly I can tell this basically is here in this case, what you can actually do is you can actually get the to be fair, how can I tell you is um, I'm not sure whether you're using ChatGPT in your preparing of notes or any GPT tool. It's not just ChatGPT, maybe Copilot, something like that in preparing of the notes or diagrams. Because we also are getting images now when it comes to GPT technology or this Copilot is also a GPT. So maybe you can try and implement that in your you can just get the new information also, because textbooks you have to refer some thousands of textbooks, which is not possible actually. So if for that actually in that perspective, if you use this AI agents, or if you say GPT technology, whether it's a Copilot or ChatGPT or some other agent, you might get new information which which is you have not come across as well. That is why even though I follow some of the things, mostly I depend upon web now, and some of them I verify also. So some two or three GPT. Some of the things I also use in Copilot. Some of them I use in Google search as well. So I tried different search engines or different maybe again search to different websites as well to check confidential or very important information. So in order to make sure that yes, this is good, this is not an absurd or a it's not a wrong information, because even you when you use ChatGPT, he will tell you that please verify important information. ChatGPT can make mistakes, so it is not exactly mistakes he was referring to, but but what he was trying to tell you is a few things might not relate or context, or it might not exactly relate to what we are trying to search. So that is why he's asking you to this AI companions are nothing actually. It will give you the this will actually give you the summary and all. Okay, so it is just a text to speech. It's just a you can say this as a proactive agent. Because it is using to convert from text to speech. It basically uses the machine learning algorithms. So it is basically an NLP kind of technology. Because whatever is text to speech, because when you want to for example, you want a subtitle, or if you want what I'm talking in English to be converted into a text. So for that, you can use to text to speech. For that only this AI companion is there. Here it's not enabled, but I think you can use it in other areas, or some other Zoom meetings I've seen. You can see, you can get that conversion from speech to text conversion. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can just ping it in the group. You can just take 5 minutes of break. We'll just continue from there. Yeah, you can use all your tools, madam. No problem. Actually, it is actually there for us to learn more and to do more. That is why only AI is there to help us in our daily day-to-day things. Okay, so just go for a break and come for a quick break. Come back. I'll just be back. Okay, so let us continue. I can see a couple of questions. You can just ping in the chat actually. A few people are raising their hands. You can just ping it in the chat so that I can reply to your question. One thing is, sir, can you please revise question? Okay, I'll get to that. One more question I saw. Can you please revise question? So what question paper I have? I'm not understanding the question. What does it mean? Can you revise question paper? Not sure. Please rephrase the question once. So one more thing is, sir, Copilot is only for images? No, absolutely not. Copilot is for everything. So for Copilot, you need to use the Microsoft 365. You need to have the access for the Microsoft 365. You can use the Copilot. So Copilot is not just for images. You can also generate text as well. And in the current generation, you can use Copilot in Excel as well. So Excel also you have the Copilot. There you can do the data analysis part. So for the data set or to generate formulas for analyzing the data, you can use it for data analysis part inside the Excel. Now it can generate the charts. So all those things are actually there inside Excel when it comes to Copilot. And as a Copilot, if you want to use independently, so you can actually use it as an AI assistant. Okay, so you can Excel. You're asking, is it Copilot available in Excel? Yeah, you have to have 2024 version of MS Excel. Let me get one thing straight. The important thing is, if you have to use Copilot, first of all, you should have the Microsoft 365 access. Microsoft 365 access is should be there. Microsoft 365. So in this Microsoft 365, you will have the Word, everything you will be having. You can use it. It's a licensed edition of Microsoft 365. You have to pay a certain amount for every month, or an yearly package you can take. If you have the subscription for Microsoft 365, then only you can use the Copilot. Please understand this. Whether it is in your laptop or whether it is in Excel or anywhere, if you want to use Copilot, you need to have Microsoft 365 subscription. And if you if you are having the subscription directly, you can update your Microsoft Office. No, now we are not calling Microsoft Office, it is Microsoft 365. So you can update your Excel, Word, everything will be updated actually. So it will be updated to 2024 version because the 2024 version is the new one. And if you are actually using, if you want to use it in the computer, you have, you can have, or you should have the access. You have to have that access of Microsoft 365. Okay, so in that way, you can use this Copilot. Okay, so I'll just show you. So I can check in your Copilot. Okay, so you will have defaultly in Windows 11. You will get this Copilot key. You will get this Copilot icon in your computer. You will have that actually. Or if it is new laptop, you will have a dedicated Copilot key, which will raise an AI assistant. Same like Google. When you press your Android phone with the middle button, you will get the Google Assistant. No? Same way you have the Copilot key, or you will have the Google Copilot shortcut. So in that way, you can use the Google Copilot, in your laptops. It can generate text like how a ChatGPT actually does. So it gives you images, it gives you text. In Excel, it will do also data analysis. So yeah, it is actually, I am using it. It is not No, you cannot use, sir. You cannot use Copilot in Office 2021. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to tell you. 2024, because Copilot has been launched in 2023. So with the previous version, Copilot will not work. So, you cannot install a cracked version of Microsoft 365. Let me get this straight. You can install the cracked version by downloading it from, any torrent sites or something like that. But the problem is Copilot will not work. Copilot will not work. You can only use the full version of all the Office tools. But Copilot will not work because Copilot is a web-based. It's a cloud-based. It directly connects to Microsoft Azure because it's a Microsoft product. So you'll be caught. If you're using Copilot, it will get caught that you're using a fake license. So that is the reason you need to have the Microsoft 365 subscription in order to use the Copilot. Trust me, Copilot is actually very, 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 very useful. Particularly I've used very heavily in Microsoft Excel. Excel, it gives you charts, it gives you formulas, it will clean the data, it will help you in Power Query, everything it will help you. It is very, very useful. So because I had a lot of experience with Copilot because I'm using it with the Microsoft subscription. So it is extremely useful, whether it might be with images, it might be text, it might be, the analysis in Excel, everything, it is very much useful. So in that way, I'm not compelling anybody to purchase Microsoft 365, but that's the truth. You cannot use it without Microsoft 365 subscription. That is part of business for Microsoft. If you want to use his assistant, Copilot, you need to have. So even your version of Office will actually update to 2024 because with previous version 2016, 2019, 2021, yes, you can use it. You can use it for research purposes. Madam, I don't know. Yes, paper ID 212. I'm not sure whether it's a sir or a madam. Anything. Just try once. You'll understand. Just take a data set. And try Google. Try Microsoft Copilot inside Microsoft Excel. With just take 1 month subscription and try. You will understand what I'm actually talking about. It can generate charts. It will analyze your data, whatever you require. It will, you can give the questions to it. It will search the data set and it will perform the analysis. It will add to a new sheet. That much of new advancements are there in Copilot. Copilot is not just a name. It's a heavily relied AI tool. We are talking about the AI agents, right? Copilot, you can put it at the top. I feel because there are a lot of multi-purpose things in Copilot. I would not say Copilot is the best kind of right now in the market, but it is a multi-purpose tool. You can use it for many things. So sometimes I use it for text generation also. In Excel, I use it for analysis. Even it will generate formulas. It will generate formulas also for you based on your requirement. So trust me, guys, it's very, very useful. So yeah, because I've been using, more than, couple of years. Almost a couple of years, not exactly because 2023 is what it's installed. So after that, a bit of advancement. So maybe I can say 1 year, bit more than a year. I've been using it. Is extremely useful, guys. So we can even use it for research purposes also because you can get your data analysis done using the Copilot and you can add charts and that. That is very important. Actually, I just wanted to tell you also on Copilot, and few of you have already asked on it. So yeah, it's a good thing that one person has asked on it, so the others also can take the advantage of Copilot. So if you see the new laptops, actually it comes with Microsoft 365 subscription along with that Copilot key. That is how laptops are actually designed kind of right now. If you buy laptops in 2025, they have a dedicated Copilot key. If you just press that Copilot key, your Copilot will pop up like a Google Assistant in your phone. So yeah, things have changed. Actually, our session was also on the AI agents. So one of our strongest agent, I would say, is the Copilot. It's a it has all kinds of things embedded into it. So yeah, good thing that one of you have asked. So let me continue with the core components. Sorry. So let us continue by understanding that what are the core components of the AI agents. So the most important thing is the perception, reasoning, and the action. So I've been telling you about the concept of reasoning, which is a very important or a very integral part when it comes to the artificial intelligence. So here you can see that when we talk about the anatomy of an agent, so we actually have this reasoning part, perception, memory, and your action. So these are the very important aspects which are there inside the anatomy of an agent, or you can say the component of an AI agent. So let us try and understand the three main fundamental ones. Okay, so more than keeping memory aside, the three important ones are the perception, reasoning, and the action. So this perception is nothing but gathering the information from the surroundings. For example, like the microphone, cameras, information. So, or you can say IoT devices. So anything which can collect information is basically a perception. And then something which is used for processing is what a reasoning, and executing the actions is what the. So all these things happen inside a, for example, let us take an example of a Copilot, right? So Copilot assistant. So Copilot can do all the three: perception, reasoning, and action. So that's why it is an AI agent. So something which can, or which is able to process all the three aspects, which actually becomes an AI agent. So we can call Copilot as a AI agent. So next thing is the agent environment interaction. So here we have already we have seen that. So it it perceives the information, it processes, takes the actions, and it actually repeats it. So this is basically a diagram where how things actually work. So how human being takes a decision. For example, a particular situation comes up, and based upon that situation, to handle that situation, what we do is we actually build some knowledge on it, or we have some knowledge on it. So we try to use that knowledge. From that knowledge, we try to get the skill which is used for solving that particular problem, and we assess the problem and then we work on it. So the same thing happens with a robot or an AI agent. It tries to understand the situation, right? It tries to process by using the data what is actually given to it, and based on that it will take an action and it will take a decision on it. So let us see the modern AI agents. So we have the chatbots, we have the conversational AI systems like the customer support bots, or the platforms like the Microsoft Copilot. So we are just talking about this Microsoft Copilot. So here it is there in the modern AI agents. It's very new tool. It's actually only a couple of years, not even a couple of years old. So virtual assistants we have like the Siri, Alexa, and the Google Assistant. And then the autonomous vehicles, what we are actually using it. And then we have the recommendation systems. Many of you are already aware of, because a lot of people are using the OTT platforms. So like the Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, right? So you can see recommendations based on the content what you watch. That is what the recommendation systems is. And then we have the RPA. So RPA, we have the robotic automation process, which is used to automate the bot or the robot for doing the repetitive task or things which are done on a daily basis. So this is the cycle of what the cognitive. From there you take the world it is, and then we are at the world, and then we have the perception. From there we have the cognitive. Cognitive is nothing but the brain, and then from there we go to the action part. So from there we go to the action part, and from there we come back to the world. So now let us see what is reasoning inside artificial intelligence. So in AI, reasoning plays a very important component, or reasoning plays a very important role. So let us see that. So what is this AI reasoning is basically about? So these AI systems, or AI bots, or AI things, whatever we are trying to use here, right? So they are basically used for decision making and to to draw a conclusion. So it tries to understand the situation, it tries to analyze the situation, it tries to draw a conclusion. It tries to draw these based upon the knowledge, right? Based upon the knowledge. So it's exactly like what we do. So, a certain scenario comes up, we try to use our knowledge. In that knowledge, we try to find the skill that can be implemented to solve that particular problem. The same way we are trying to, the machine also trying to use the rules, and it is trying to use the knowledge what it has, right? And the context understanding, and it will put as a skill. Okay, it is not a human being to put a skill, so it will understand the context situations. It will analyze and it will implement as a solution. So there are four important things. Okay, let us deductive, inductive, and abductive. Okay, so in that, before going into that, different types of reasoning. So these are the different kinds. Let me come back to it. A few things you might be knowing, because as not a part of AI, but as a part of research, you would have actually implemented it. Because your faculty, you're very much aware of this, deductive reasoning and all. So it is actually the same thing is actually also a part of AI reasoning, right? Because how we reason the data or how we analyze the data, the same way AI also, or the machines also do that. Okay, so now let us see the first one, which is the logical reasoning. So in the logical reasoning, it tries to deduce the logic, right? So from that, it tries to see a small example where if all humans are mortal, the Socrates is human, then AI deduces that Socrates is a mortal, right? Because if you don't give that Socrates is a mortal, so if you just give that humans are mortal and Socrates is human, so from there it can conclude that Socrates is also mortal because it is connected to one another. So that is what basically a logical reasoning is. So the next thing is the probabilistic reasoning. So probabilistic reasoning is nothing but based on probability. For example, like the Bayes theorem or Markov models, so which can calculate the unpredictability in the data. So when we say probability is calculated when we have unpredictability in the data. So for example, like a medical AI system predicts disease likelihood based on symptoms and historical data. So next is the heuristic reasoning. So in the heuristic reasoning is basically nothing but a rule of thumb, right? This is basically like a formula you can think of. So this is basically used to solve the problems, like finding a optimization distance and all. So for this, it will apply a formula and then it will try to find the optimum distance. So this is what actually the heuristic is, just like a rule of thumb. And next is the machine learning based reasoning. So this is basically used to take an informed decisions. So whether we are applying neural networks, whether we are applying reinforcement learning, so we are applying any kind of technology. So this basically AI chatbots understands user query based on the previous conversational patterns. Same you can actually understand this by linking it with ChatGPT. For example, if you try using something in a ChatGPT, right? So based on the request what you have given, it will try to understand the previous queries also, what it has given and what you have asked. It will analyze and it will give you based on that particular aspect. So that is what this machine learning based reasoning actually does. Okay, so yeah, I think one of you have a question. Okay, no. Okay, so let us go to the next part, which is the deductive reasoning and the inductive reasoning, abductive reasoning. So this one, as a researcher, you might be familiar with, right? You might be familiar with this because usually you are going to use this in your research, right? For example, when it comes to deductive reasoning, so theory, and then you build a hypothesis, then you do the observation, then you do the confirmation part. So this is basically the general rule or the specific conclusion. So inductive is nothing but observation, pattern, hypothesis, and theory. So specific observation and then from that general conclusion. So abductive is observation, assumption, hypothesis, and best guess. So incomplete observation, but the best prediction. So this is what these are not new, particularly for faculty, because you've been trying to implement these things into the research. So next thing is the AI reasoning process. We have 5 important aspects when it comes to AI reasoning process. So the first one is the data acquisition. So trying to gather the data, right? Raw data, whether it is from sensors. Sensors is nothing but the IoT devices. From there, collecting from the databases as well. And then we have something called as a feature extraction, where if we try to identify from different places, and we try to influence and feature extraction is nothing but basically identifying the important features in the data or important aspects in the data which can be used to predict the outcome variable or the target variable. Or when we say in a very simpler term, if we have to understand, we can say that which features are contributing to predict the outcome, or which features are actually contributing to take a decision, or which are helping us to take a decision, right? Or which is helping us in a decision making. That is what basically the feature extraction is all about. So then comes the model application. So model application is nothing but applying the algorithms, right? So this is basically interpreting the results, analyzing it, right? Understanding them. So that is what plays a very important role when it comes to model application. So next is inference and decision. So these basically derive insights, right? It actually gives or predicts the outcomes, and it gives some actionable insights. Next is feedback and learning. So it is based upon reasoning, based upon new data and new experiences. So that is what these feedback based learnings are about. So next thing is challenges in AI reasoning. So the most challenging part in AI reasoning is about the fairness, because the biasness is an extremely important aspect, and also if you overcome the bias, decision making also should be a fair one, but it should not be an unfair one. So interpretability, sometimes it is very difficult to interpret the model deep learning part, because I was telling you about that only. So we have complex mathematical aspects when it comes to deep learning. So it is very difficult for a few to understand, to digest, and to make a understanding of what this to solve a particular thing. So uncertainty handling, AI must navigate incomplete or contradictory information as well. And then computational constraints, it is very important also to computation or aspects follow the because you need to have a proper sentences, or you need to have the proper logic in order to reason certain parameters of the data. So let us see the practical applications where we can use this AI reasoning. So I've taken a few because I felt it's very important for you to understand where we are actually trying to apply there in the real life. So in the diagnosis field, we are implementing to assist the doctors to analyze the patient's problems. For example, like the MRI scans, X-rays, all these things. Then the fraud detection in finance. So they're trying to analyze the frauds or prevent the frauds by monitoring the activities, right? So they monitor the activities in order to identify whether we are actually, the transaction is a fraudulent one or a genuine one. So next thing is the autonomous vehicles. So you know that Tesla is one of the companies which is processing this autonomous vehicles, which is the self-driving cars. So next thing is smart virtual assistants. So like the Copilot, Alexa, Siri, these actually listen to your commands, and they can reply back and process whatever you want to try to do. So next is supply chain optimization. So here we have robots, which is AI bots, right? Or you can say AI agents or AI bots to manage your resources or inventory. manage your inventory or resources in a proper way. So for that, we in supply chain, people are using this AI agents or AI bots. So next is AI in education. So particularly for creating materials for giving students more learning experience, more a different way or more easy way of learning. We are using AI in education. So next is cyber security and threat detection. So here it's the same, trying to identify the malwares or abnormal activities inside an AI system. So for this, we are trying to apply different algorithms in order to predict the abnormality. Next is legal document optimization. So the documents will be scanned and properly analyzed in order to save that it is a legal document. So next is AI in retail and marketing. So here we have based upon your purchase history or based upon your consumer activity, right, or your consumer experience, it tries to predict your shopping experience, or it tries to enhance your shopping experience. So next is AI in research. For this, actually, one example is your Amazon's, Flipkart shopping, Myntra, and all. You can, see that the assistant or AI agent actually helps you to, make your shopping experience more, to make your shopping experience really good, or I would say, more happy shopping experience. So it is based upon certain scenarios. Yeah. Okay. So next is coming to the scientific research. So for scientific research, yeah, we are actually particularly implementing this inside, implementing of many aspects. For example, when it comes to scientific data, so different uh, algorithms or different applications, what it can do is it can explore the data, which can actually help you in discovering new things, right? So for that, we can actually use the AI in scientific research as well. So let us try and understand what are the limitations which can be, or which are actually there when it comes to AI reasoning. So what are the last slide? Okay. So me, which one? This one. Which kind of application? This or this? Okay, 8, 7, and 8. Okay, cybersecurity and legal documentation. Is that right? Okay, cybersecurity. Okay. Yeah, cybersecurity, you can use it to identify the threats or vulnerabilities inside your AI systems. For example, let us take a very small example of our own laptops, right? So we have a security system inside our laptops, which is in the form of Microsoft Defender. So this Microsoft Defender actually tries to protect the data or protect your system from crashing, from heavy malwares, okay, or any attacks. Okay, so this it can do, right? So it is not just about AI systems. So our Windows Defender actually, it's an AI embedded protection only, what we are having inside the Microsoft Defender. Okay. So it's not just our laptops or our computers, it's about also protecting information which is very important. For example, like the public records, right? Or very sensitive information of the public for a particular company. Yeah. So for a particular company or for anything, it might be information which is very sensitive and which is very much have to be protected kind of data. So that can be actually protected, or that can be actually used to make or prevent from cyber attacks. So yeah, we are here. Limitations. A few actually we have tried to understand a bit before. One is lack of true understanding, because it is very much, it is very difficult actually for a few segment of people trying to understand or trying to make some understanding of the reasoning part. It is not that easy to process, and not that easy to understand the contextual aspects of it. So it is extremely difficult for a few people. So a lack of true understanding is what I feel it's a very huge limitation when it comes to AI reasoning. So next is the bias in the data. So bias is something which creeps into the data. And this bias should be reduced. And there's something called as bias variance trade-off. So here we can actually, AI is hiring decisions may inadvertently favor certain demographics if trained on biased data. So, it is very important for us to understand. It is very much important for us to understand that how much of bias has to be is acceptable, and how much is not acceptable, and how much actually we can try and figure it out, and how much it impacts our decision making. So that is very important aspect when it comes to reasoning part. So next is difficult handling uncertainty. So obviously, because if there is a lot of uncertainty in the data, or the predictions are not going in a certain way, the data is not sufficient, or the not able to figure out the proper methods to handle the certain data as well. So in that bigger picture or a broader picture, we can try and understand that handling data is a bit difficult. So data transparency also is very much important. So next comes the let us yeah, we can actually stop here. Maybe you can just ask me doubts if you have. If you don't have any doubts, maybe I can continue till 5 o'clock. If you have any doubts, please ping me. Okay, so after this explanation, I'll just wait for a couple of minutes. We'll see. Okay, so next is the computation and resource constraints. So when it comes to computation and resource constraints, the most important thing is handling a huge amount of data. So that is always been a challenge, even with the new AI advancements. Always handling complex data sets, or large data sets, or big data. It's always been it's always been a tricky part, or it has always been a difficult situation to handle a huge amount of data. So next is ethical concerns. So ethical concerns is nothing but human morality and ethical judgment. So this is something where the things should be used for legally. So AI should not be used for any illegal activities, because what AI, artificial intelligence, is basically for our, it's like a friend to us, right? Or a, person who is co-living with us, right? So it should be, used ethically, right? So next is dependence on quality data. Yeah, there's always been a bigger problem when it comes to data analysis, and even with the AI systems. So having a well cleaned data, or having a data set with a good quality, right, which doesn't have much of inaccuracies, or let it be any missing values, right, any wrong entries. So all these kinds of poor data should be avoided, because AI systems need a good data quality or a good data to actually process the AI tasks. So next is so next is the difficulty with creativity and adaptability. So here we can see that AI can generate creative solutions, right? And this actually lacks human intuition and abstract thinking. So it cannot innovate beyond what is learned from existed data. So that is the problem of AI systems, that it cannot go beyond what it has not learned, only till what it has learned. Okay, so that is what basically is what is actually happening. So maybe you can just come up with questions. So if you have anything, you can come up with the questions. Because the next topic is on perception and all. So let us finish that, and then it is going to be deep concepts. Yeah. Okay. So please, if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, so I got a question. So AI used in research, doesn't it amount to plagiarism? Uh, it's not unethical. It's not unethical, but the part here is it can lead to plagiarism. That is the reason you can. Okay, so I'm not. See, we are not using AI. It is. So forget about AI for a bit. Okay, so for example, if you want to, if you're doing your own analysis, why you want to use or copy something? You do it on your own data set, no? So from where plagiarism is coming, actually, I'm not under. I didn't get your question properly also, because how come plagiarism will come? Because you're not copying anything, right? It's your own data which you have collected, and you try to analyze it. Maybe common things which you put in your paper, research paper, common concepts that you might copy. See, for example, that is why they allow you plagiarism of some 15 to 20%. Some places they allow only 10%. Why? Because when it comes to, for example, like definitions, right? So when it comes to definitions or something, a generic matter, you cannot change that. How can you change a definition? For example, if you take a textbook definition of something, whether you take it from Copilot or whether you take it from ChatGPT or some other place, the definition will not change. It's the same definition, no? So wherever you take, plagiarism will show for that particular definition. That is why they are giving you a certain amount of, a certain amount of relief in the form of, this much of plagiarism is accepted. Or else they would have said 0% of plagiarism, because even if you have to, generate your own definition of a particular thing. So here you're actually, information usually gathered can't be fully relied, but can be referred. That is why we talk about data quality, madam, because that is in where, even if you have to use the AI systems also, we always talk about the data quality. whether you are doing a manual approach or whether you are using, for example, if you use Copilot on the data set in Excel, it will give whatever data you have actually given, correct? No, on that only it will actually build you a chart or it will give you an analysis. So it is our duty at the end of the day to collect quality data and clean the data on after getting it by applying different mathematical and statistical tools, right, to clean the data. So it is very much important from our side to do this. Okay, and as I told, definitions and some of the things can be plagiarized. That is not a problem. Yeah, and to copy everything fully, you can just modify it as a few things. It's not unethical to copy. For example, definition, is it unethical to copy? No, it's not unethical because definition is definition. It will not change whoever writes it. The way, a bit transformation can be done sometimes because you see the definition written in a different way from different authors. That is part and parcel of what is happening. So that is fine. That is absolutely fine. So for analysis, sir, if we take help from ChatGPT for our research purpose, are there any special tools that recognizes AI data? Special tools to recognize AI data. What does it mean? I didn't get your question properly. Yeah, you can use it for research purpose. That is not a problem because data what you have collected is unique. That you cannot find anywhere in, for example, where you can generate a fake data from ChatGPT, but the data you have collected is a genuine data, right? Or let us say you have genuinely collected. You have not filled some random values. Let us say you have not done like that. Actually, you have properly collected. Okay. So it'll be a genuine data only, no? So if you have collected properly, it will be a genuine data. Why it will be data which is something yeah. So it will be a genuine data. I didn't get it properly. Okay, any tools which recognize it? You can do the analysis part in Copilot. You can take the help of ChatGPT also for analysis. That is not a problem. It will not give you any means the content from ChatGPT. If we use that in our paper, content in the sense like any theoretical, or you're talking about the data analysis part? You meant the data analysis because your data analysis again will be unique only, no? Because your data is unique. So your analysis also will be unique. Whether you are taking the help of an AI tool or any tool, or whether you are doing manually or whether you are doing any tool. Now we are not doing anything manually. We are using a tool. Whether you use an AI tool or you just use a normal tool, that is up to you. But it will not detect because it's a unique data. It is a unique analysis. So how come plagiarism will come? It doesn't happen that way. Content in the sense, if you take some theoretical aspects from ChatGPT, yeah, it will show plagiarism because why? Because it is taken from the web. So somebody would have actually written it. So from the web, it will actually take. So that is why when it comes to, I think yesterday also I was actually telling you this. Maybe you would not have heard about this. So I was actually telling you about the ChatGPT Plus and the ChatGPT Pro. So all the three use three different models. So actually ChatGPT is a tool which uses the web and it also generates the yes, good. So if we are using a higher model like the ChatGPT Plus or a ChatGPT Pro, it actually generates a new data. It generates a new data or a new information. Not every time, not for everything, but it will generate something new. That is why I told you also yesterday, when you actually try a particular query or a prompt in a free ChatGPT or a ChatGPT Plus, the answers will vary a bit. Why? Because the model which is using, the LLM model which it is using is actually different. So when it actually generates new content, that will not pick up in the plagiarism because it is generating a new content for you based on the prompt what you have given. So yeah, So you can use ChatGPT in that way also. There are ways to use, that's why we learn a subject called prompt engineering. How to give the prompt, how to, yeah, sure, you can ask. Please, ma'am, yeah. So how to give the prompt, how to get the, accurately use. Actually, I'll tell you one small thing. I don't know how many of you really believe in this, but I actually, want to tell you this. Using ChatGPT effectively is an art. So you try today, trying for different things. It's actually an art, because getting, information in such a way that what exactly you want, proper context, everything. It is an art to get it from it. So don't be just generic in getting the information. It should be a bit of creative also to get the information. So feedback form takes. Yes, it can be related now. Yes. So feedback form takes multiple responses but restricts to one response only. Yes, it restricts to one response because it is just linked to your email ID. No, it will map your email ID. So, for example, if you are using one more email ID, it will take as one more response. It is mapping, one-to-one mapping. It is doing one response for one email ID. It's just mapping only. It just don't link that much to AI. That much of AI is not there in this. It is just mapping actually. One-to-one mapping it is doing. One email ID, one response. It is collecting. That's it only. So if you have any questions, you can just keep it for tomorrow also. I'll just, it's already 5. Ma'am, you can, we can wind up the session.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you so much. So yeah, dear faculty members, I hope you all marked your attendance. So yeah, we are done for the day. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you all for joining. Thank you.